Mr. Zelenoff, whenever you get the balls to actually answer a call out, first one in 6 years, this will be you ahead of me. Next, you'll be falling down. Hope to see you soon, bitch.
Welcome back, Trash Talkers. Episode number 3. Trash Talk with Devin. I'm back with Seth. I believe at this time, we would have had his ridiculous video from Blue Water come up. Of him calling out Charlie Z once again. I'm going to put it right before this, so I believe it will be up anyways. So
I look slick in it, by the way, just to clear that
you
up.
Look a little tired. That's what you look
Well,
like.
we had a big workout, and I had a vomit session.
2 vomit sessions.
I wasn't going to make that clear, but he's not lying.
He was cutting weight. He was cutting weight. That's what he was doing.
Yeah, always.
Anyways, so this week we got kind of a special episode because not only is it episode number 3, but we have a you're looking a little different.
What do you mean?
You're looking a little different this week.
Better or worse?
It looks like your hairline might be receding just a little bit more this week.
Just the way my hair is, that's all. It's wearing the mask, you know what I mean? And
Could it be because you're the dirty 30?
It could be.
It
could be. I've turned 30, folks. This is my first show as 30.
Well, Trash Talk with Devin has a little special birthday surprise for you. So I'm going to go grab it, and I will be right back.
This could be scary. He likes to ruin lives. I'm just kidding. Ruh-roh.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Oh boy.
Happy
you didn't have to do
birthday, dear Seth.
Thank you.
Happy birthday to you. All right. Cheers. I didn't light it up, but for you. I know it started melting in the back. That's for you.
Thank you, sir.
And this is for me.
Awesome. Cheers to, what is this, Boston Cream or something?
Cheers to Dirty 30.
Dirty 30.
Take that out.
I'll take that
that's
out of there. All right, folks. We'll get messy here in a minute. Thank you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Was not expecting this. It's really good.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Nothing?
Are you gonna wait for me to finish this?
Or? Oh yeah, you can finish it if you want.
No, yeah, continue on your show. I'm listening. I'm just
okay.
Shouting down.
Sweet. We just want to listen to you. Are you seriously like? God damn it!
What?
I put Dijon mustard in yours.
You better not.
I swear. They wouldn't take the cream out for me. So I just started squirting Dijon mustard in there. But the whole
You're lying. I don't taste shit.
It's like, where's the? That's why you didn't eat it from this side.
Oh no.
Eat it from that side. Take one bite from there.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
This is bullshit.
Oh yeah.
This
All
is
right.
Complete bullshit.
Hand me the tray. I'll put mine in there. I'll save it for later. Hand me the. We'll continue with the show before you kill me. I don't want OD on video. Don't get.
Yeah, what they said to me in the parking lot. We don't do non-filled. We can fill it. So I was like, I sat there squeezing like an entire bottle of Dijon mustard, thinking it was just like.
What parking lot you buy these from? You said in the parking lot. They said we don't do deep fill.
Sorry,
Kinda black
sorry,
market.
not part. The drive-through of Tim Hortons.
Oh,
And I think you got to.
oh, he's an asshole. Oh,
So I guess it only met
no.
I guess, I guess it only met the first. You know what the
Devin
word.
ain't be oh.
Well, that was disappointing.
Chavez, you're gonna have to drink a problem.
That was so disappointing. That because Dustin.
Why did you do that to me?
Haven's Dustin.
This was his idea?
No, we basically did this to him at Christmas. The same thing. But they actually at Christmas they were like, "Oh yeah, no problem. We can not add the filling to the Boston cream." And we're like, "Okay, great." So I put in mayonnaise into his. Dijon mustard would have been way fucking better, but
anyways.
But we put mayonnaise into his. Dustin takes a bite out of it. Same thing as you. There was no filling at all. He goes, and I wait, and I'm like, sitting there like, all right. And he goes, takes another bite, and I go, okay. And he goes, takes a few more bites, and I go, you not like notice that I put real mayonnaise inside of your Boston cream? And he goes, yeah, but I noticed, but it was actually pretty tasty. I go,
I would have rathered the mayonnaise than what I got. You know what? And I kind of like, why is he watching me eat this right now? Like, it's so like, and I didn't catch on because it was good. I love Boston cream donuts. And now I fucking knew why.
All right, well.
Anyways,
that
I'm done being
Anyways.
tortured. What do you mean it sucked?
Anyways, happy 30th birthday to Seth.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, we're going to get back into the fights. Last time we spoke, it was just before the Black Beast fought. That was an interesting fight because we didn't know how it was going to go, but he ended up fighting... he ended up knocking him out in the second round. I think the first round he had a... he was doing really well as well for that first round, but he almost got submitted a couple times. But his power was just a little too much for that fight. Same card, Chris Weidman returned against Omari. He looked pretty good overall. It was a competitive matchup, but Chris Weidman ended up winning a very close decision. But it was nice to see Chris Weidman back and not getting knocked out. Because that was same thing as we're about to talk about later. Chris Weidman lately has had a history of... like we're going to talk about later, like Donald Cerrone, Chris Weidman, they both had histories of trying to weather the storm in the first few rounds where things get a little hectic and they're not able to either recoup or they are, and in this case he was, and he ended up taking out a very, very strong competitor through the decision, and it was a great fight. Next up, that was on August 8th. The last time we talked probably was on August 6th or something like that.
Probably June, July.
Well, before that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so no, the very last time we talked was probably August 5th or 6th, I think. So that was August 8th. August 11th, we had Windsor's TJ Laramie earn his contract in the UFC on the Dana White Contender Series, which was amazing. That night was awesome. I loved watching that. Every Dana White Contender Series, I always win a shitload of money because like these fights are very easily predictable for the most part anyways. But TJ Laramie, that was 100% fight that we knew he was going to absolutely control the pace of every part of that fight. So he did come out. Yeah, he came out. He out-grappled him start to finish. There was a couple submission attempts from his opponent. He never looked like he was in too much danger. but as a fight fan watching, you got nervous at certain points, but he was never in too much danger. And I say this before last night, TJ was never submitted in his career too, so it was easy to watch and know when you got in those submission attempts that TJ would likely get out of it and perform his ground and pound.
So what's next for TJ after this win?
So
does he earn a contract now with the UFC, or is there still another stepping stone or a proving ground for him to cement him as a UFC legitimate fighter? Is there a next level, or did this win kind of like put him in, like, yeah, Dana White's going to say, yeah, you're in now?
Yeah, so actually, because Dana White, like, right after that, so the way the Dana White Contender Series works, they fight, all 5 fights happen, they sit in a back room, they walk right past Dana White, Dana White says words to them, they say words to them, or to Dana, and that's how it kind of goes. TJ walked by, and Dana kind of said something, I think, before. They were sitting in the back room, but he said, TJ Laramie is a fucking savage. And Dana White said that. TJ Laramie...
Dana White loves savages,
he said, TJ Laramie is a fucking savage.
Well, he'll be in there.
And like I said before, actually, you know what's crazy? I forget who it was, but somebody at the same thing compared it to a Khabib GSP type of style, and that's what I was saying two episodes ago.
What, like the strong wrestling?
Yeah, strong wrestling, right on top heavy, ground and pound. That's what he was doing. But you did ask what is next for him. Actually, what is next was he had he got an immediate UFC match last night.
Oh.
So I know you were busy with your girl. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe texting or something, but so last night anyways, I was at work as well, so I didn't get to see the full thing. I watched it the day after, but TJ was a big favorite. He was fighting a veteran, but a veteran who wasn't completely
on his level, maybe.
I didn't know. I did not think he was on his level. He was fighting somebody who had a lot of submission victories outside of the UFC, did okay in the UFC, and was a great matchup for TJ. But he fought against, Derek Minner was his name. So he fought against Derek Minner, and from what I heard anyways, because I didn't get to see it myself, this was one of the ones I missed while I was at work last night. He pressed the action real quick, slipped up a little bit, and got caught into a guillotine within 52 seconds of the first round. So, shit happens. But he's going to be back. Like, I don't know what the contract says, obviously. But he's going to have a few fights, and he's going to have a chance to prove himself. And TJ is a fucking animal when it comes to wrestling, and pretty good striking. So.
Well, we don't want to say too much on this subject all night, but I'm going to add one more thing. Dana White is quick to cut guys like that if they lose too much in the UFC. Like CM Punk, he got thrown out like I know. And he even got mad at that other guy that fought him. He's like, he should have finished him long ago.
Which one is that?
CM Punk's second fight, buddy there.
The hey Mickey, you're so fine, you blow my mind, Mickey gal.
I thought that was his first fight.
That was his first?
Yeah, the second guy that should have like beat him up, but then he didn't, and Dana
White's
like,
okay. No, I know you're
ended
talking
that
about.
long ago. Like, you're not even coming back either. So Dana White is quick to just like cut people like that. You know what I mean?
That guy wasn't that great.
Well, I think he just fucked around. That's all. But
the difference is between that guy, CM Punk,
and TJ Laramie.
TJ Laramie is a fucking animal.
Well, yeah, he knows, like, he's better than the guy CM Punk fought. Better than CM Punk. CM Punk is learning. You know what I mean?
No, TJ will come back. TJ will have wins. TJ belongs.
of course.
TJ belongs in the UFC.
Right.
100% TJ belongs in the UFC. CM Punk does not belong in the UFC.
Well, that's why he's not fighting anymore.
But
And I'm a CM Punk fan for wrestling, WWE.
So that was August 11th. We get to August 15th. Awesome card, UFC 252. That's what we were previewing the last time. We had the main event. Stipe defeated DC in a 5-round war. We had the... it was a very, very good fight. Like we had the first 3 rounds back and forth. I think it was the 3rd round possibly where Stipe threw that eye poke pretty much that you watched collapse in DC's eye, and pretty much it caused blindness, temporary blindness.
Broke, what was that? Orbital.
I think he tore his cornea. Retina?
Cornea or retina, one
cornea
of the two.
Retina, yeah.
He did. Could you see the interview after? It was all.
Yeah. So
yeah,
well, you can see it looked like he looked like Forrest Whitaker, like he had the lazy eye. You were after that fight, you were genuinely concerned for DC's health. 100%.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah. So that you watch that because it's like, it's not like Stipe did it on purpose, but you watch like the hands go out and you watch the finger crush the eye and go straight back like at least half. It was in slow motion. It was disgusting. But
you said earlier like DC is known for like eye pokes himself.
No, I didn't say that earlier. I said DC was not known for eye pokes. He had that first fight with Stipe. A lot of eye pokes happened as well on his part, and actually one happened in that fight against Stipe, and this one as well. It was just not as gruesome. So that happened anyways. But the impressive part about that was DC came back in that 4th round and won in my opinion, he won the 4th round. Came back, 5th round, he lost.
Mm-hmm.
And the 5th round, I believe, was the deciding factor of that entire fight. And I believe Stipe won a 3-2. I don't remember exactly what they had it at, but Stipe won a 3-2 fight, and he won the fight, and that's how it should have been. And DC retired right after, as he should, and he has had one of the greatest careers you could ever have in your life. So at that point, it's kind of who's next for Stipe?
Well, a lot of people say Brock Lesnar.
Oh, come on.
It's a rumor.
No, it's a rumor. There's 2 people for Stipe.
Number one, DC.
Sorry.
Lesnar wants to.
No, DC doesn't want to fight.
No,
DC's
Lesnar
done.
does.
Yeah,
though.
DC's done.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
but like it's one of Lesnar's. Like people are like, what if Lesnar?
Well,
fought
Lesnar's
DC?
trying to stay relevant. So.
Well, I don't think Lesnar's come back to the UFC anyways.
Yeah, Lesnar's trying to stay
relevant. He doesn't
relevant.
have WWE contract right now, so Lesnar's unemployed.
Yeah. But okay, no, we're talking about Stipe. So
right.
DC's retired. No future opponents for him.
Mm-hmm.
Leave the guy alone.
Yep.
He's 40. Like, leave him alone.
Yeah, he's done.
We got Stipe, and the 2 for him are Francis Ngannou or John Jones, because John Jones vacated the light heavyweight title. He moved up to heavyweight, and Francis Ngannou has already lost a very, very clear decision to Stipe, but people think that Francis Ngannou has progressed in his career. He has adapted, and he might be a threat to Stipe Miocic. But then, and most people agree with that. I am one who I do agree with that, but at the same time, I don't agree with that. And the only reason I don't agree with that is because if Francis Ngannou, one of the heaviest hitters in heavyweight of all time, fights against Stipe, and for whatever reason, Francis, the same outcome of the first fight does not happen, where Stipe just kind of out-wrestles him, out-points him the whole time, and Francis doesn't know what to do. Because at that time, Francis was losing to Derek Lewis, too. In one of the most boring fights, probably the most boring fight of all time. He lost to him, and Francis was in a different place. So, Francis does deserve this title shot, but if Francis ends up knocking him out cold, and it's not a knockout that is calling for a 6-month suspension or anything, this is holding for another trilogy between Stipe and Francis of what we just had DC and Stipe.
Right.
So, you have that, and you're sitting there and you're thinking in your own head, John Jones, this excites me. John Jones versus the heavyweight champion of the world for the belt. DC won it. John Jones beat DC. And you're thinking all this. If Stipe gets knocked out, that's putting that heavyweight belt on hold with a trilogy for at least a year.
It's setting the stage, real
And John Jones is not going to fight, even though he vacated that light heavyweight belt. We got a healthy John Jones who's not going to fight for over a year for that heavyweight belt. So we get John Jones fighting someone else in the heavyweight division, ranked high. Okay, we can do that, maybe on the same card and then do that. But I want to see John Jones next, just because I know Francis will always be there for Stipe to fight afterwards. Whether it's with John Jones, whether it's with Stipe, I want to see Francis attempt to knock one of them out after. He doesn't deserve it, but I want to see it after, for the fact that Francis has so much knockout power that he could ruin the next year of the heavyweight division, to where we're waiting on a trilogy and we never see John Jones.
So, you've often mentioned before, off podcasts and whatnot, when we're just shooting the shit, John Jones is the best UFC fighter of all time. I don't know if you said that per se, but along the lines.
John Jones is the best fighter of all time.
So do you think Stipe could beat him? Do you think there is a chance, or do you think
it's a weight thing? Yeah, no, it's a weight thing, because
depends on their weight.
John Jones is clearly out of his prime. You've seen that in the Thiago Santos fight. You've seen that in the Anthony Smith fight. You've seen it all around. John Jones is not who he used to be.
But if this fight happened, who would you take? Stipe or Jones?
I would take Jones.
You'd take Jones.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would still take Jones to this day.
Okay.
But
yeah.
John Jones is not what he used to be.
Right. Okay.
Anyway, so that's the one we had there. The next up that night was my favorite fight of the night. We had Marlon Vera defeating Sugar Sean O'Malley. Oh. I was so happy about that. Like, that was one of my favorite moments of the night for sure. Marlon Vera, there was a lot of controversy during and after that fight. Basically, it looked like Sugar Sean O'Malley rolled his ankle. He curled up. Vera hit him. That was it. That's all she wrote. People didn't look too much into it until after the fact. And then looking back on it, the reason that the ankle roll happened was because Marlon Vera kicked him, calf kick.
Oof.
Ankle, calf kicks are nasty. Ankle, whatever reason, gave out. He fell. Marlon Vera finished him. The calf kick finished it. Big controversy behind that was the confidence behind Sugar Sean O'Malley, where afterwards he says, I didn't lose that fight. He wasn't changing his record in his Instagram. He was basically just not accepting the fact that he lost that fight, and saying that the reason he lost was because he rolled his ankle, and Marlon Vera is not a better fighter than him. So that was a little hysterical, because it was like, you got knocked out after a calf kick. You are the loser of that fight. Take that responsibility.
And change your record.
Learn from that responsibility. Yeah. Learn from that loss. Acknowledge that loss, and grow as a fighter. And that's where I said, I said to a couple people, I said, Sugar Sean O'Malley, if he takes that loss, he truly grows from that loss. Exactly. He becomes a better fighter.
You live and learn.
Sugar Sean O'Malley still can become a champion of the UFC. I truly believe that in that weight class.
But being a sore loser and say, well, the only reason I lost and because I rolled my ankle. Look, dude.
Yeah.
Everyone rolls their ankle. It happens. Like, just own up. You fucking
But he
lost.
did not roll his ankle. He got calf kicked.
Yep.
Which caused the rolling ankle. That's the thing. He did not.
He wasn't like walking and then just No,
he got a huge calf kick.
Well, then you didn't roll your ankle, bro. Well, you got kicked.
No, it weakened the ankle. It rolled the ankle, and it led to a TKO.
from a kick.
So you own
Right?
that, and you come
Exactly.
back stronger. But if you're going to make excuses, that's when you're never going to become a champion. You're never going to break the top 10 if you make excuses.
Right.
So anyway, so that happened though. I didn't like I liked Sugar Sean O'Malley. I did not like the tweets after. I did not like the way he was talking after. And I didn't like the way he was talking before. I told you Marlon Vera was gonna beat him.
Mm-hmm.
I made a lot of money off that, but I said
he told me like 3 weeks before the fight.
we said it on here,
Yeah.
episode 2, but
He called it. Don't bet against this guy. He just beats you. That's just
Sugar Sean O'Malley is going to come back if he decides to. He's my age.
To own up to that
If
fight.
he's my age. If he decides to function what happened in his career on that night, and
just move on,
process,
man. You lost.
process it and fucking learn from it.
You lost.
He will become a champion eventually someday. Peter Yan is an animal in that weight class, but he will become a champion if he learns what happened and why it happened, because he was the more elusive and like quick alert fighter. Marlon Vera was kind of more stationary and
Who was more busy?
It was close.
Okay.
I think O'Malley is probably outlanding him by just a little bit.
Okay, all right. Heavy striking or wrestling?
Striking
Nice.
completely.
My
yeah.
type of fight.
Yeah, so anyways, the rest of the night, quick one. Oh, no, sorry. So I'm going to go back. Besides that, I would like to see Marlon Vera, who's next for these fighters. I would like to see Marlon Vera fight either Dominic Cruz. I would like to see Dominic Cruz is ranked number 8 right now. I would like to see Marlon Vera step up to fight a former champion. Somebody who did really well, in my opinion, against the champion. And if not, if they don't want to give him that fight, somebody a little close to him who is on a bit of a high streak right now, just like him, because Marlon Vera, in my opinion, 7-fight win streak. I would like to see him fight against Merab. Merab would be a good fight as well. As far as O'Malley himself, I would like to see him fight somebody who, in my opinion, barely lost to Marlon Vera. I would like to see him fight against Song Yadong. That was a draw that they called it, but Vera definitely won that fight, and that's why I say he's 7 in a row. Or no, it was a split decision loss for that one. Yeah, but he won that fight. So I would like to see him fight that guy and see how that goes before he progresses his career past the top 15 like that.
Do you think a Marlon Vera is ready for Dominic Cruz?
Marlon Vera is a veteran.
So is Dominic Cruz.
Well, yeah, Dominic Cruz is a huge veteran, former champion.
Yeah.
But
WEC
all we've seen is Dominic Cruz has been off for 4 years.
Been doing a lot of commentating, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's been doing a lot of commentating, a lot of breakdowns. Dominic Cruz is one of my, when he was fighting Cody, because I'm a huge Cody fan, I was so against Dominic Cruz. But over the years, watching Dominic Cruz fight, watching Dominic Cruz commentate, Dominic Cruz is just a awesome dude. Dominic Cruz is a great guy. I would like to see it just because Marlon Vera is he's on a 7-fight winning streak. Fuck that Song Yadong fight. He's on a 7-fight win streak right now.
Mm-hmm.
Dominic Cruz just came back. He lost bullshit stoppage decision to the champion. I think it would have went the distance if they didn't stop that while he was on his way up. 2 seconds left in the round. They would have brought, that was the second round. They brought him up. I feel like Dominic Cruz would have finished those 3 rounds, and I don't know if he would have won, but it would have been a good fight, and that was against the champion, Triple C, Cejudo.
Yeah.
So, I think it would have been a good fight. Dominic Cruz is still up there, but I do feel like Marlon Vera is such a veteran that a Dominic Cruz fight would either cement his place in the rankings, where yes, he belongs between 10 and 15, or he would say, I'm breaking that top 10. Oh. But Merab would be a good fight too, but I would like to see the Vera versus Cruz fight. And the last one, like I said, Rosenstruck defeating Dos Santos by KO on that same card. The only other thing on that card would be the rematch between Kutlaba versus Magomed. That was canceled again because of COVID testing.
One guy fail?
Yeah.
Who had COVID?
Ion Kutlaba failed his test. But the Rosenstruck fight, he won, knockout. Like I said, I bet on that as well. I would like to see him in the fight against I'd like to see him in the fight with Overeem again, because that Overeem fight that they had,
Alistair Overeem. Since Pride. Whoop.
Yeah, basically that first fight, I think it was the 5th round. Rosenstruck knocked him out, but Overeem was winning that fight. It was a good fight, but he was winning that fight until Rosenstruck ended up knocking him out. So I would like to see them run that one back. I think that would be, especially at the point that Overeem is still winning pretty consistently.
He's getting up there. He's getting old, man. He's been doing it a long time.
And that's what Overeem is consistently winning.
He's old, man.
Overeem's consistently winning, so I would still like to see that fight.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything with Overeem is good to me. I think so.
Next up, like I said, John Jones vacated his title. He's moving up, so I would like to see if John Jones doesn't fight him. If he doesn't fight for the title,
what's next? Like
heavyweight division. Yeah, I know. I'd like to see John Jones against obviously one of John Jones's rivals. Like, he moved up. It didn't go so well. I don't know. I'd have to look back at that again. I want to see John Jones fight for the title right away, but if we were to see something else with John Jones, like, I'd have to look back at it, because there are some great fights. Like, I would like to see John Jones fight Francis Ngannou. That would be fucking. Do you realize how much numbers that would pull? John Jones comes up to fight the guy who knocks out every single person besides Stipe in the division in the first round. People go nuts over that shit. I would love to see that fight. So I would like to see John Jones fight either one of them, but the chances are they're going to fight each other.
The only problem is with some of the problem. I'm not saying, because I'm not in the know as the MMA and UFC world as you are, but a couple times John Jones hasn't gotten through a drug test. There's always that too. And you were saying Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar wants to fight John Jones. Absolutely.
That'll be,
or DC.
I don't think any fight in the history of that fight, or the history of the sport.
Do you think someone would tune into a John Jones versus Brock Lesnar fight on pay-per-view?
Are you fucking kidding me?
I know we would, but like anyone else, do you think anyone cares?
That would break records.
It would have to. Brock Lesnar.
It might not break Conor McGregor records, but it would break any other record.
Conor McGregor's like that guy. You know what I mean? Of the decade of MMA. You can say John Jones, but Conor McGregor, he made that. He got popular outside of, like, almost like in Ali. You know what I mean? Like, he was just bigger than UFC. You know what I mean? Like, the guy drinks booze at pre-fight thing. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I know.
He just had his own gimmick, I guess, like his own way of doing things, kind of like Muhammad Ali did. Yeah. But anyways.
So, moving on, we got one. I know you like this one, because I actually, this was the one bet that you won against me, but we never actually put anything down on it. Frankie Edgar ended up defeating Pedro Munoz by a split decision, which was so close. You remember that fight? You watched it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you had it on your TV.
Yeah, I was there.
Frankie Edgar, it was the thing. I loved watching that fight. I've never watched somebody almost 40 years old or almost 40 years old move around like Frankie Edgar does. Frankie Edgar was I think it was a main event. Yeah, 5 rounds. Yeah, no, it was definitely. They must have put it in the clause because it was not a title fight, but they must have put it in the clause it was 5 rounds, because I remember 5 rounds Frankie Edgar moving around.
Frankie Edgar has good boxing too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it was not just the boxing though. Frankie's hands look great. Pedro Munoz, every time he fucking landed, was like boom, and you seen Frankie's head like.
We'll have to look this fight.
It was close. It was close, man. But Frankie's movement was like it was just untouchable. Where it was like to the point, it was I had it 3-2 for Frankie. There were 2 rounds that clearly went to Munoz, but Frankie's movement was just like out of this world. It was like watching him at that age move around like that made me feel lazy, like completely.
And if any folks don't know, 40 is an old age for a fighter. I know if you guys first show, you guys like 40 is a young age, but like what's it, prime 20s to 30s when you're boxer, UFC fighter?
When you're down at and that's why like we talk about DC 40 years old.
Yeah.
Up at 205 and heavyweight. No, we talk about DC up at 205 heavyweight.
Yep.
He heavyweight is a little easier to handle when you're up at that weight. Not for everyone, but
is it because guys are slower but more powerful hands? Like
I don't know.
I don't want to be hit.
I
by
don't know the
dude.
scientific fact behind everything, but when you're Steve Molitor, for example, back here.
There we go.
When you're down at 135, 125, when you're down at those weight classes, you don't last as long. You last until your mid-30s a lot of the time.
Is that because you're cutting so much weight all the time?
It could be.
To where guys like Mike Tyson, Larry Holmes,
well,
DC.
Mike that was a bad example. Mike Tyson had a pretty short career.
Well, because he got sent to jail.
Well, Mike Tyson had a pretty short career as far as like him getting
Larry Holmes
beat
had
up.
a long one.
He was very, very strong when he was in his early 20s.
Well, he was the youngest heavyweight champion of all time, 19
Yeah,
years
and
old,
that's
right?
when he was a killer.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I think he holds the amateur boxing record for knockout in 30 seconds or something like that. It's ridiculous.
And he was knocking out adults when he was 15.
Yeah, he just one punched the
in
guy.
sparring, and
it's ridiculous.
But yeah, no.
Just a killer.
So we basically the next card we had that one would have been on August 22nd for the Frankie Edgar card. The next one we would have had was August 29th. I don't want to touch up on this too much because this card just was like really... I didn't have fun watching this card at all. It's basically Anthony Smith got his ass beat by I might be pronouncing this wrong, Rakic. It was basically just a completely dominant wrestling decision, start to finish. There was nothing else. He put him down. A lot of people thought it was boring, but it was just dominant. He probably could have finished Anthony Smith if he wanted to, but he played it safe and he just kept him where he wanted to the whole fight, and that was super boring. The fight right before that, less boring, but people would still say it was boring. It was the co-main event was Neil Magny versus Robbie Lawler, which everybody connect Robbie Lawler to being ruthless, which is his name, a complete badass where he goes out and everything is a war. But
Robbie Lawler's got to be like 40, isn't he? He's up there, man.
Robbie Lawler's in his late 30s.
Yeah. He's a veteran for sure.
But
man.
That fight, anyways, basically, I was talking to someone before this. It was they said like, oh yeah, like Robbie could come out and do this and do that, and I said no. Neil likely will just make it a boring fight and will press him against the cage. He will keep him down. He will make Robbie look like he's never wrestled and never fought a day in his life, and that's exactly what happened. Neil Magny made Robbie Lawler look like an amateur, or look like he needs to retire. That's pretty much what it was. So that night itself was a lot of wrestling and a lot of just people getting outclassed who can't fight at that level anymore. That's pretty much what it was. And if someone else has another opinion, they can tell me. But that's
leave it in the comments.
That's what I looked at it.
And try to say wrong.
Besides that, though, no, the one good thing that happened that night was Ricardo Lamos defeated Algeo by decision. Awesome fight. That was an exciting fight. But weeks later after that, Ricardo Lamas ended up announcing his retirement, and Ricardo Lamas has had a fantastic career, and all the best to him in the next
Absolutely.
Next chapter of his life. Yeah.
Yep.
So that was October 29th, and then we get to the next September 1st Dana White Contender Series card.
Ooh-wee.
Biggest thing on that, like I ended up winning like 4 out of 5 fights on my bets on that one. Dana White Contender Series are easy. Like I said, they're very, very easy to pick, but unfortunately, the one fight that I got wrong on that one was my former contender, Jose Johnson. Jose Johnson, he went out, he ended up losing a 3-round decision. It was a wrestling match again. He tried really hard, but he ended up getting, I think it was 10 or 11 takedowns, second most, I think, in Dana White Contender Series history.
Quick question. They get paid for these fights?
Yeah, I think they each get $5,000 for Dana White Contender Series.
For contenders, okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know. That's why I asked.
I think it's $5,000 per appearance.
Oh wow. Shit.
So yeah, Jose ended up getting out wrestled. He didn't have much of an answer for it, unfortunately. But the craziest part about that card for me was Jose somehow finds a way to go viral every single time he fights. So
just that entertaining of a fight, or what? Like,
whether it be his knockouts, but this one specifically, he went out there and he was basically sealing the cage for Muay Thai. You ever see that before? They have a lot of
what, where they like kind of back him into the cage and barricade him?
No, so they have a lot of pre-fight rituals in Muay Thai where basically this one, Jose walks around the cage and he basically put his fingers down the cage to seal the cage, and that's from any bad energy.
Yeah, you brought this up when we were in London.
Yeah, so
and who was it? DC didn't know what the heck was going on.
Yeah, and that's the thing. So
like,
he did all that, and he got back, and the whole time the commentators and DC was there that night, which I thought was awesome. But they're sitting there going, "I have never seen this in my life before. What are they doing? Blah blah blah." Crazy, and yeah, and then the UFC even posted it, going, "Well, this is something new." The UFC's page itself, so this is something new. And just got lit apart because it was it's tradition for Muay Thai.
Yeah,
and it's like a company who specializes in every martial art
there's tons of Muay Thai fighters.
Doesn't understand what is going on here. But anyway, so yeah, he went viral for that reason, and it was kind of interesting. But hopefully, yeah, all the best to Jose.
Hopefully he bounces back and we get a win out soon.
And we were talking about him earlier, September 5th, right after that, it was the Overeem card. There's 2 things on this card. There was Overeem himself, great win. He KO'd Sakai September 5th. I said, what's next for Overeem? He himself asked for John Jones. So that was the other one. When we were trying to figure out John Jones, there was...
Okay, yeah.
What's next? There was Stipe, there was Francis, there's Overeem. Overeem would be an okay fight. I think if he had to wait on Stipe and Francis, Overeem would not be a bad fight to go up to heavyweight to see.
I don't think it would be a bad fight.
But besides that, Overeem also wants the Rosenstruck rematch because there was 4 rounds where arguably, maybe not arguably, I think it was pretty clear that Overeem was winning that fight and Rosenstruck ended up knocking him out. So to see them run it back, that would be a good one as well. So yeah, Overeem, John Jones or Rosenstruck. I think those are 2 great fights for Overeem right now.
I'm down for Overeem and John Jones.
I think they're 2 great fights for everybody involved in that.
I'm ready for Overeem, John Jones. I'd like to see that.
That would be a cool one, yeah.
I think that'd be a heavy striking fight.
You're gonna like this. Yeah, you're gonna like this right now. Ready?
What's that?
Brian Kelleher entered the cage to Stone Cold Steve Austin's entrance music that night too.
I do love that.
Yeah.
Like why? Oh man, yeah. All right, he knows what's up. That's for sure. That's for sure. That's for sure. Is he a wrestling fan? Do you know any of that? Obviously, he must,
I would assume he's a wrestling fan.
or
yeah.
a big Stone Cold. Did he get up on top of the cage and like?
He did
smash
not.
the
He did.
beers
He did not
together?
do that because I think
Oh,
I
okay.
think they would probably fine him more than he's actually worth if he got up on top of a cage and.
Did he Stone Cold Stunner a guy?
Not that night. No.
Oh, not that night. Maybe later in the
So
night.
yeah, the interesting thing about that card actually too, there was only 7 fights in that card total, and if I believe that's the same one, Paul Felder was commentating that card, and Paul has since then started a tally of groin shots, because that same card, there was only 7 fights, and I think there was 11 groin shots in 11 fights, 11 groin shots in 7 fights.
Oh wow.
So and it was the joke of the night where they're like, oh, we have to, each groin shot's 5 minutes if you want it.
Yeah, he walked it off, right?
So they go, we only have 7 fights tonight instead of the 13 that's usual. We had to make some time up with the groin shots, 5 minutes each. So that's, yeah, I guess. But anyways, okay, I am going to let you.
I'd be fucking pissed if
I'm
I
gonna-
got a
I'm
couple
gonna-
of
I'm
groin
gonna let
shots
you-
in one. I'd say, really?
I'm gonna let you jump into a couple. Just do a couple because I do have to go to the washroom. So do a
So
couple
do I.
of.
So
You
do
want
I.
to go first?
Sure.
Go first.
Keep
Okay.
going then.
You go first, and then I'm gonna let you do some of your WWE
When
stuff.
you come back.
No, when you come back, I'll
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
You want me to go first?
No, I'll go first.
Okay. All right. All right.
All right, trash shockers. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Here, I'll throw up the mustard. Just kidding.
All right. Anyway, so we got to September 5th. Our next card was September 12th. Michelle Waterson defeating Angela Hill. Angela Hill had a lot of hype behind her. I think she was the favorite on that card. I had Michelle Waterson, Karate Hottie, winning that fight. It was a very close one. It's either way kind of fight. So I really enjoyed that. The other one, finally, I brought it up in the last 2 episodes. Kama Worthy finally lost. Underdog every single fight. I think this one he was barely the favorite, but he made it in that position. He finally lost. He was KO'd in the first round by an undefeated 13-0 Otman Azatar. I still think he's with the 2 wins that he has. I still think Kama Worthy is a very, very dangerous opponent and great competitor in that division. The biggest one of that night was Ed Herman, his controversial win that should have ended in a TKO. I think it was in the second round. It should have ended in a TKO. He got hit to the groin, or so he said. He got hit to the solar plex area, obviously knocked the wind out of him. He went down, held his nuts, and the referee obviously didn't see it. He looked over and he said, "Stop, stop, stop." What happened pretty much, okay, groin shot, you have 5 minutes. So Ed Herman, who had gotten hit to the solar plex, had 5 minutes to recover from that. He ended up taking approximately 4.5 of those minutes, came back throughout that, and third round came and he ended up submitting his opponent in the third round, and pretty much in his interview pretending like he had no idea why he got the groin injury, 5-minute rest, but obviously pictures show differently. He's holding his nuts the entire time, so there's that. So that was one of the most controversial referee decisions and controversial fighter decisions I think I've ever seen in my life. And besides that, the last thing on that card would have been Kevin Crooms' 31-second guillotine victory over Roosevelt Roberts. That's something I never expected. I think it would have been like 17-1 odds that happened. He rocked him within the first few seconds, grabbed him in a standing guillotine, and turned him over, and Roosevelt Roberts tapped, and that's all she wrote. It was a great fight, and it is worth the performance bonus that I'm sure he got.
How much does that go for?
I think it's usually 50 G's.
And I'm back, Trash Talk. 50 G's?
50 G's, baby.
Holy crap.
All right,
I'd be
so
going for that every time.
That was September 12th. I have to use the washroom. Seth, I'm going to take it over to you for some of your WWE talk.
All right. We'll cover the WWE. I have other segments. He still has some weight to lose. See that? Took him a while. All right. All right, Trash Talkers, you wrestling fans, what's going on? We have two separate WWE pay-per-views to cover, which is weird because they happen in the same month. What I'm going to start with now is WWE SummerSlam 2020. This is, I'll get into it. The pre-match, so we'll just call it the pre-show. U.S. champ Apollo Crews defeats MVP Kickoff to retain his United States WWE Championship. Not a big deal. Not to me anyways. If you guys are Crews fans or MVP fans, that's fine. Bayley, my girl, defeats Asuka. Of course she would. The Raw champs, tag team champions, the Street Profits, defeat Andrade and Angel Garza to retain. Mandy Rose defeats Sonya Deville in a no disqualification. Loser leaves WWE. So that means Sonya Deville, bye-bye. But I think she'll be back. She's not done yet. Seth Rollins defeats Dominic Mysterio, which is the son of the legendary Rey Mysterio. He's not wearing a mask, for people that are asking. And at the end, WWE champ McIntyre defeats Randy Orton, which I was upset about, but I kind of saw it coming. The Fiend defeats Braun Strowman to win the WWE Universal Championship. Of course. We all saw that coming from the last one. Anyways, the next pay-per-view we have is WWE Payback. Pre-show, Riot Squad defeats the Iconics. Yeah, we all saw that coming. Like, why would the Iconics win? They don't really have any, whatever. U.S. champ Crews loses to Lashley to lose his United States Championship. So remember when I said Crews retained last pay-per-view? Well, it just changed. So Big E defeats Sheamus, thankfully. Big E Langston. Matt Riddle, if any UFC fighter fans know, he was on The Ultimate Fighter. Blah, blah. He loses. Well, no, wait, he wins. He beats Baron Corbin. My lady friend will be happy about that. She hates him. Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler defeats Bayley and Sasha, which sucks because now it's over. It's my girl and her tag team. They had all the belts. Now it's just Bayley. Now it's Sasha No Banks. Doesn't make me lose any sleep at night. Keith Lee defeats Orton. What are you doing, Orton? Can't let me down on you. Ray defeats Murphy. Ray and Dominic defeats Murphy and Rollins. And Roman Reigns defeats The Fiend and Strowman to win the WWE Universal titles. I will be back with you shortly with my next segment. It's covering thrown or not thrown fights in boxing. Welcome back, Trash Talker Devin.
All right. So, right before I left, we finished up with September 12th card. The one that happened last night was the one I was most excited for. This is the greatest free card of the year. September 19th. It was headlining Kobe Covington versus Tyron Woodley. So the outcome of that ended up being a 5th round stoppage due to an injury to the ribs. Cody was beating him start to finish.
So was that a technical knockout then?
Yeah, technical
Okay.
knockout. So it was basically start to finish. First 4 rounds, clearly Kobe. Like, we had one flying knee that was pretty good by Woodley, and then another off the fence Superman punch by Woodley that landed. So there's a couple nice shots. Woodley always gives you a little bit of excitement.
So
but
he pulled out Anthony Pettis.
that's yeah.
Anthony kicked off the cage, but this guy like kicked off the cage and like flew at with a punch.
He threw it was a Superman punch off the cage, threw it at him, landed it, but
That's sweet.
the majority of the rounds, Kobe Covington just pressed the pace and took him apart.
All right.
Tyron Woodley, I think it would be now. He has lost the last 15 rounds of his career.
Okay.
A lot of people say retire. Dana White says retire. I don't know my feelings on that because it's kind of Tyron Woodley has fought 3 high-level contenders, obviously. Like, he's fought Usman, he's fought Covington, and he's fought Gilbert Burns in his last 3 fights. Give the guy one more fight and see if he loses to a lower-level contender, and if he does, hang them up.
Probably
maybe.
hang him up, yeah. That's what I don't understand about some fighters. Like, go out when you're on top. Just hang it up, dude.
Well, it was hard. It was hard with that because
you know?
it was hard with that because he went knocking out Darren Till, to getting completely outclassed by Usman, to losing his next 2 fights, getting outclassed again every fight. Like,
well, every dog's got to stay, right?
So
like, you gotta.
He needs to find the way. The best way to put it is the way that they have said in the UFC is Tyrone. I think it was who was it? I think it was Rashad Evans. Said that
Sugar Rashad.
I think it was Rashad Evans that said that, and I think it was actually Usman too who beat him. I think they said the other night that he needs to find a reason to fight again. He needs to find something to make him want to fight, because if he can't find that inside of him, he doesn't belong in there anymore.
Well, you know
or
what?
For now,
maybe
anyway,
some time off.
Yeah.
Maybe some time off.
Yeah.
Might give the fire back. You know what I mean?
That could do some well, yeah.
It could.
Could do him well, yeah.
It could.
So that was the first. Anyways, Kobe Covington demolished Tyron Woodley. Basically, his rib popped out earlier in the fight. Cracked earlier in the fight, I should say. He felt like he got a second win and it was okay. But then as he was trying to pull a guillotine from the bottom, and he tried to readjust, and he said it popped out again. You seen the X-ray? It was nasty.
One that messes up your breathing throughout the rest of the fight, man. Every time you breathe, you're freaking feeling that shit.
Yeah. So he screamed out. He said, "I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. Stop."
Shit.
People gave him shit for that, and it was like you expect somebody to take permanent damage to their life and their career over you sitting on your couch watching this, saying
armchair coaching.
He should have fought through a ribbon. He should have fought through a broken rib.
Yeah, they need to screw off.
Besides that night, though, next up, co-main event, Donald Cerrone versus Nico Price. Super excited matchup. Nico Price is so fucking funny, man. He so basically started the fight again, like I was telling you earlier. Donald Cerrone is one of the types who he's got to weather the storm. He had a bunch of first round stoppages against great guys. Like Gaethje, I don't remember if it was second or first round against Tony Ferguson, and then first round against Conor McGregor, obviously. Anthony Pettis, that was a close one where he likely could have won that fight. But then he fights Nico Price, and he had to weather that storm in that first round again, where Nico Price looked like he was going to knock him out, and I was sitting there going, this really sucks because I love Cowboy, and I don't want to see him go out in the first round again. Especially against somebody who's obviously not on the Conor McGregor type of level. And I was like, I don't want to see him go out like this. Weathered the storm, made it a fight, came back. Nico Price had an eye poke of himself on 2 that he landed on Donald in the first round. I didn't think they were going to take a point, but they ended up taking a point. Donald looked pissed.
That's just 1 point?
1 point. But Donald looked fucking pissed during that time. He was like, you seen him in the corner going, are you kidding me? You took a point off of him? I don't want to win like this. right off the bat. He goes, you took a point off him for poking me in the eye by an accident. I don't want in like this.
But a poke in the eye is a poke in the eye, man. It's like in boxing, like say you just swing and you end up like on like or
well,
rabbit
you can't poke someone in the eye.
No, but like no, I mean like either rabbit punching somebody or like mistakenly low blowing them. Like shit just happens. Oh, sorry, man, I didn't like. That's why they gave your ass a warning.
Well,
but
and that's why Donald, like, he was sitting in the corner. And even myself too, I seen the second eye poke. It was clearly an accident. It was actually the second eye
rules
poke.
Are rules,
the second eye poke was like this. So I think Donald came in with a right. Or sorry, no, I think Nico came in with. It was something. No, sorry. Donald came with the right, clipped Nico, and Nico was thrown at the same time, and you seen it land, and then him poke him like that.
Oof.
But then. That's why where I was sitting there going, okay, no, they probably shouldn't take a point for that. Like, but same thing. Refs only see what they see. It is what it is. Refs see what they see.
Who was the ref?
I don't remember. It was the skinnier guy. He was really skinny and young.
Oh, okay, no.
I don't remember what his name is, but he was the ref. He sees what he sees. Nico, I poked him, but then you see Donald waiting around for them to start the fight, and he's not happy about the point being taken off. And then they go through the fight. I thought Nico won the fight. Many people say either Donald won it or it was a draw, which is fine either way. But the craziest part is Nico's excitement about the draw, where they go, all right, it's a majority draw, and Nico's like,
because he didn't lose.
He didn't lose because he's so excited. He's like, Donald's a legend.
Yeah, I would be pumped too.
He just had a draw against a legend like Donald Cerrone.
I just drawed the cowboy.
Yeah. So he's fucking pumped. And,
like literally, draw.
Yeah. And Donald's sitting there and he's pissed because he thinks he shows up at the press conference after. Nico's like, oh yeah, this and that. He doesn't give a fuck. Nico's so cool, man. And Donald shows up, and they ask him like, "Hey, like, so it was a draw. Bullshit. What do you think?" And he goes, "No." And he goes, "Yeah, no, that fight was bullshit, because I should have taken the L."
Oh.
And he goes, "They took a point from me, or they took a point from Nico. They didn't take that point. I can do the fucking math. I lost that fight 2-1."
Yeah.
So he was pissed about that. He wants to run it back, but then Dana said, me and Donald need to have our first conversation about things. So
they're going to have a talk about this.
Dana doesn't want him, I don't think.
So you think Dana's going to cut him? So
I don't know if he's going to cut him. I think he might give him one more shot, but I think he's...
You lose this one, you're out.
And that's what Donald said too. He said in that same press conference, he said, I lost... Because he called it a loss because it was only on an eye poke that. So he said that's 6 losses in a row. If I lose this next one, I'm fighting for my job.
Yeah, Dana will cut him then. How much losses does he have in the UFC?
Oh, inside the UFC, I don't know.
Yeah, Cerrone.
I don't know exactly what he has in the UFC.
4, 3.
Oh, more.
No.
I just said he had 5.
Okay,
in the last 5 fights. So
I've seen I've heard of Dana like cutting guys like way earlier than that.
But not guys who are fighting against Conor McGregor and Anthony Pettis and Tony Ferguson and Justin Gaethje.
It doesn't seem to matter now, right?
Well, yeah, it does for that. Sorry, it means a lot for that.
Yeah, well, you're fighting for your job now.
Donald Cerrone is a legend in the sport. Dana's not. He's the cowboy. Dana's not going to cut him like that. That's why he's still getting co-main event spots. Dana's not coming to him saying, I'm cutting you because you're a bad fighter. Dana's coming to him saying,
No, absolutely
you're not the same fighter you used to be.
You used to be.
I think it's in your best interest that
and career.
Either you leave the UFC and be with your boys, like his sons, or you leave the UFC and you decide yourself, because Dana doesn't want to feel responsible for Cowboy being too tough in his own mind. So move on to the Bellator. If you really fucking want to, move on to Bellator.
If you want to keep fighting.
Yeah.
But why wouldn't, like, Cerrone just retire then? Like, man,
Well,
you've
because
made
Cerrone's
enough.
a warrior.
Like, oh, yeah, of course. But every warrior, it's got to, like, finally hang it up.
I understand that, but you like...
Can't fight forever.
People don't know that. But what in Cerrone's position...
Or you start losing and
in Cerrone's position is he doesn't want... Like, he's finally at a point where he should feel comfortable with sailing off into the fucking sea.
Exactly, man.
But Cerrone's a warrior, but it's like at the same time, it's like he's got 2 sons waiting at home for him.
Exactly. Just hang it up, go home, dude.
He's got a farm. He's got so many skills that he's good at in life, and Cerrone should just
hang it up and go home.
Keep it there, but we're not. It's not his life. It's not our life. It's his life.
It's not our decision either.
Yeah.
But he should, man. Just you've done what you did. No one will forget you. Just go home.
Yeah.
Be with your family.
Did you watch this?
What's that?
Hamzat Chimaev.
No.
Versus Gerald Mershert.
No,
that
I didn't.
Was so.
Was that last night?
Yeah. So
I didn't see the card last night. No.
Okay, well you missed out. Big. This guy basically. So his first fight, he went. Let's see if I can bring it up actually, because I want the exact statistics for this. Because the first 2 fights people gave him, including myself, like not necessarily because I was like, okay, I knew he was good, but I didn't know he was this good. So his first fight, he fought against Phillips. We talked about this guy. It was the one who went 10 days back to back in Fight Island.
Yeah, you told me about it.
He was 124-2 in his first fight. I think that was his first fight in the UFC. I think he was debuting at that time. So he fought Phillips, 124-2. Completely demolished him. And then he fought his next fight, 10 days later, so July 15th, July 25th, he fought McKee, and he outlanded him 68-0. And then last night, he fought against Mershart, which is crazy that this isn't even a thing. 4-0 on punches. So basically, he has outlanded them 180, 192, 196 to 2 punches. He's outlanded his last 3 opponents. And the only one to land was his first opponent.
Does he come from a boxing or striking background, or?
I think it's the same as Habib.
Wrestling,
like Chechen.
What's that?
Chechen, I think. Yeah.
Oh, like over in Russia, Eastern European guys. Yeah. Yeah.
So basically, the first he hasn't been landed on besides 2 punches in the first fight. And that last fight, I'm surprised that there was even...
How tall is this guy? He looks pretty, like...
He's big. Pretty tall, but he fights at 155, 170, or 185. He doesn't care.
He's a journeyman, then.
Yeah, he'll... No, not a journeyman.
Journeyman travels always.
Well...
So a journeyman is...
Journeyman has different definitions.
But I'm talking about, like, the boxing one, where you, like, travel weights.
Yeah.
Like
anyways, okay, so that last fight, though, 4-0... on punches. That was actually surprising to me because I only seen like 1 leg kick and then just fucking him like clapping him. Basically, he walked Mershart down and threw 1 right hand and just folded him against the cage, and Mershart was laying there. That was scary. He's the real deal, man. He's a real deal. He's fighting Damian Maia next. They double booked him.
Damian Maia,
and everybody was getting like angry about it. Oh yeah, why are you double booking him? Like he hasn't even proved himself yet. This and that.
Because he ends his fight early and he could come back.
But then and then even Mershart was saying, oh, he's not going to be able to compete in October after I'm finished with him, and he got 1 punched. It was scary.
See, that's why
my mouth doesn't drop much, but my mouth dropped that fight.
Was it the last time your mouth dropped? Was it during Tyson Fury and Wilder when Wilder floored Fury? Was that the last
probably,
time?
Yeah. Conor McGregor versus Aldo was another.
All right. The jaw dropping moments, right?
Yeah. So that
my jaw dropped when fucking Wilder fucking knocked Fury on it. I was like, what the fuck?
The other one, this is when I won a 40-1 odd 3-play parlay. He was my last one of the night. I think I had Silva for the female Silva earlier in the night, and one other decision fight I had on that parlay, but it ended up being 40-1 odds. And I was waiting for Johnny Walker. He had 2 losses in a row. He's fighting Ryan Spann.
That's a good drink, by the way, Johnny Walker.
Everybody, every time I say Johnny Walker, they have something to say about that name. Yeah.
Hey, that means I'm not an alcoholic. Seriously, it's just it comes to mind. That's all.
Yeah, but so Johnny Walker fought Ryan Spann, and Ryan Spann, he had a run of his own, but I knew he had fought a lot of older competition or less experienced competition, and I had a feeling that Johnny Walker was going to do what he did in a lot of other fights. And the fight started out, he came out and he threw one of those flying knees and hard shots at Ryan Spann that looked like it was going to wobble him. But then where I started getting scared, because I was like, oh, I'm just going to like play out this parlay and like see how Johnny Walker does, even though he lost his last 2 fights. I was like, okay, awesome, let's see how this goes. And Ryan Spann started pushing him against the fence, holding him there in the clinch, taking his legs, trying to go and get him down. And I was sitting there going, awesome, great. I was at work. And I was like, awesome, great. Like, I'm about to lose this bet again. And all of a sudden, Johnny Walker switched up kind of what he did in the last few fights, and he started dropping those elbows on the side of the head.
Oh, fuck.
And
right
those always look
fuck
nasty,
that, man.
because they always look illegal, but they're not. You know what I mean?
Man.
You know what I mean when they start dropping them like this, and you see it right on the top of the temple.
I look at
there.
hammer fists. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, guys, buddy's head smacking.
Brock
I'm
Lesnar.
Like, yeah.
Brock Lesnar.
No, but like, I
there.
always look at like the temples when they're like slam. Like, I'm like, stop it, man. Like right on the temple. I'm like, he's gonna fucking kill him. You know what I mean? Like, it looks like it. It looks like it.
Yeah.
But
yeah, no. He dropped a couple elbows. And I was like,
was the guy out?
Not yet.
I would have.
I went. Here we go. And I was getting excited. I was like, oh yeah. And then he, I think he level changed. I can't remember exactly. He level changed, went up, and I was like, fuck. I was sitting there like stressing out, like 40-1 odds. I'm like, come on. And then all of a sudden he level changed, adjusted, and it looked like nothing was gonna happen from what he just did off those few elbows. And then Johnny watched him and dropped one more, and you watched Ryan Spann's body drop. And when his body dropped, he started feeding him and immediately stopped.
All right,
yeah, immediately stopped after that, and I was jumping out of my chair. Like, yeah, so it was great. And besides that, obviously, we've already brought this up. Yeah, TJ Laramie, unfortunately, like that was the only one on the card last night. We're filming this on Sunday. If this comes out on Monday, last night I'm saying as a Saturday night, September 19th. Yeah, last one. TJ obviously caught in a bad position. 52 seconds into the first round, guillotine loss. Next up, we got the next 5 fights, starting with UFC 253, are going to be back out Fight Island, Abu Dhabi.
Is that Khabib?
No. He's
what one's Khabib and Gath?
255, I think.
255, okay.
Yeah, so 254. Let me double check that actually. 250.
Khabib's coming up though.
It's coming up soon.
Sorry, folks, got the hiccups. I thought he's like
UFC fights
like this
yeah,
month.
No, I think he's 255. I think I might be wrong about that. But there's 250
versus Gaeth or Goth. I forget how you say his name. Gaethje.
Yeah. So yeah, no, like the cards that we do got coming up, I wasn't gonna bring these up like now, but we got Holm versus Aldana, Marlon Moraes versus Corey Sandhagen.
Oh shit!
And then Ortega versus the Korean Zombie. And
I heard about Ortega.
And I got that wrong actually. October 24th. So the very next one that we're gonna film is going to be Khabib versus Gaethje.
Because they've been advertising that one on commercials. I'm like, oh, that's cool.
And that's another good fight on it. Islam versus RDA. Rafael Dos Anjos versus Islam. That's going to be another great fight.
Buddy over here, Umar Nurmagomedov. What's he, or whatever that is. He's 12-0.
Yeah, so that's going to be your next one. But yeah, no. So
I'm taking
it's
Khabib
not 255,
fight.
it's 254. But Habib versus Justin Gaethje.
Khabib wins. I'm taking that already.
So that'll be a good one.
Do you think so?
They're not going to be on Fight Island, I don't think. Let me double check that too. It's going to be 1, 2,
Depends on COVID
3.
restrictions.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, venue Flash Forum.
Where the fuck is that?
That is Fight Island. Okay.
Oh, it's Fight.
So it's called Flash Forum is on Fight Island. So yeah, so the next 5, so it's going to start with UFC 253, Adesanya versus Costa, and it's going to end with Habib versus Gaethje on Fight Island.
Okay.
So that's pretty cool, actually.
All right,
yeah.
that's going to be a good episode.
That's
for
gonna
episode 4. Right.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool fights, I guess, on Fight Island. That's 5 really, really awesome cards.
Like I said to you, when they're done with Fight Island, they should make a DVD box set. All Fight Island.
Agree. Yeah.
All Fight Island cards in a box set.
Make it happen, Dana.
I think it would make fucking money.
Yeah.
I'd buy it.
Yeah, so anyways, yeah, we're going to go over it real quick. Like, this is titled UFC 253. But I just think we have a lot to talk about, like, on this card. So I'm just going to kind of briefly go over 253 predictions. I do have Adesanya beating Costa by technical decision. Very technical decision where I do think Costa's going to press the pace a little more than Romero did. And it's going to make for a more exciting fight. Dana White said it himself. He thinks like Costa's going to press the action.
Now, when you say press the action, do you mean
more than Romero?
No,
Romero
I
was
understand
you remember that
but
it was
like,
opposing contest.
But a striking or just like barricading
striking,
just
striking.
Like
He's going to
or wrestling like
Costa is going to try to kill him. He's going to try and make Adesanya not breathe.
Pummel him.
Yes.
Just maul him to where
He's
he
going
can't
to,
even move or
he can't,
think about
he will not
a
breathe
game plan.
for the next 20
so
years.
Just maul him.
That's what Costa wants to do, is make him not breathe for
Pretty
20
much
years.
Mike Tyson, really.
But Adesanya, like against Romero, it was the same feeling, except Romero is the type where he will wait and he will try and throw bombs. He's not as reckless as Costa.
Picks his punches, you mean?
He picks it. So when Adesanya was scared of Romero's power, and Romero was also waiting for him and respecting the fact that Adesanya was as good as he was in kickboxing, they sat there posing in front of each other for the entire fight. Costa is not going to show the same respect. He's going to come at him and try to kill him, and Adesanya, I do believe, is going to pick him apart.
So counterpunching.
He's going to pick him apart, but it's going to be exciting, and I have a very, very technical decision for Adesanya. That's my opinion on that one.
Nice. Sounds like a good fight.
It is going to be a good fight, for sure. But the co-main on that is Dominic Reyes, who arguably beat John Jones. I don't think so. I thought it was 3-2 for John Jones, but it was a great fight. John Jones vacated that title, obviously, so the vacant light heavyweight title is up for grabs between Dominic Reyes and John. I can't pronounce his last name. Blachowicz. I still think it's gonna be a hard-earned decision victory from Dominic Reyes. I don't think it's I don't think that card's gonna have too many highlight reels. I think it's gonna be pretty clear decisions, but very hard fought competitors. I think Dominic Reyes will come out champion, and I think Adesanya will come out champion. But both good fights. So.
No.
That's all I got. Besides that, Kai Kara-France, Brandon Revel. That's another great fight. Hakeem Dawoda is fighting on that card. We got your guy, Diego Sanchez, fighting against Jake Matthews.
Hell yeah. Let's go, Diego.
And then William Knight. That's the last one I want to mention. He's on like the prelims, but William Knight, he just excited me during the Dana White Contender Series.
You know what's funny about Diego Sanchez? It's the only reason My dad's dog is named Diego. He's Chihuahua. I named him after Diego Sanchez.
I thought you were gonna say your dad.
No,
That would've
I
been
did
even better,
because
yeah.
I used to always like I watched Ultimate Fighter 1.
Yeah.
And I liked his attitude, and him and like Josh Koscheck didn't click. And then I got like, what was it? UFC.
That's one of the best. Yeah.
Something.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, Diego Sanchez, and he's like boxer. I was like, I'll pick this guy. Him and Kimbo Slice, I always used to pick.
Nice.
That's why.
Kimbo Slice was my favorite because of his attitude on there.
He's freaking awesome to
Yeah.
play as.
Yeah.
On what is it? The one with 2010 Brock Lesnar on the front. Kimbo's in that one. He's like the. Also, Bisping, he's alright to play as. But anyways.
Fair enough. Yeah. But yeah, no. Okay, so William Knight fought on that card as well, and the reason I bring up William Knight, even though he was, he's fighting on that card next weekend as well, which is another quick turnaround from the Dana White Contender Series because they don't have a lot of options in the U.S. and in Canada until they. He's fighting on Abu Dhabi. That's my mistake. No, he's fighting Abu Dhabi. So
That's in like over.
that one is interesting because I was gonna say
Middle East.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna because that's Fight Island. So that's
I didn't know Fight Island's in over
Abu
in
Dhabi.
freaking.
Yeah, Abu Dhabi.
Wow, shit! I thought it was like off the coast of Florida or something.
So I was gonna say the William Knight. I was
apologies.
gonna say William Knight was getting that opportunity because of so quick because like a lot of the guys who from America and Canada have been getting the opportunities so quick because that's like they're the only options out there. But he's going to Abu Dhabi, so good for him, anyways. But William Knight ended up on that card, and he had 2 fights on Dana White Contender Series where they were both comeback knockouts. First fight, obviously he didn't impress Dana enough, so Dana asked him to come back, and he allowed him to come back. And he was also losing that fight that I was watching, but he came back and same thing. He started landing hammer fist while a double leg was going on him against the fence, and just elbows, hammer fist, and guy just went down. It's dangerous.
Could you imagine, like, you lose your first fight, and Dana White says, "Oh, I think you got it. Come back, and like another shot, and you're losing that fight." Can you imagine how demoralizing you feel? Like, I'm getting a second chance to make my way in something I've dreamt about, and I'm losing right now. Like, would you feel like let's turn this around, or like
Dana White after he won the fight?
Oh, okay, all
because
right.
Dana,
I thought like after he lost, and he's getting another shot. I was like, oh shit,
he didn't lose. No, he was losing the fight and ended up winning.
Good.
And Dana basically would come out the way it works. He'd come out after he would break down every fight, and he would probably just say, "Hey, look,
so this is
I think you're skilled. You don't have enough experience, though. I would like to see you again. Come back and prove it to me one more time."
So is this like a alternative to the Ultimate Fighter? Like this is another way of they're doing things to recruit guys, or like you know what I mean? Without the reality shit.
The Ultimate Fighter
was a house. It was like reality TV.
Yeah, they'll basically take those guys and they'll put them in a house and they'll fight each other until the winner gets a contract. But
and
this
they get
way,
drunk and fight each other.
This
off
way is
the
basically
fucking
it's almost the Ultimate Fighter's guaranteed contract. The Dana White Contender Series is a tryout. You go there and you impress him. You get to hear him after whether he wants you in his company or not.
Oh, so he actually tells you face to face.
Which is awkward sometimes because sometimes
it would be very awkward.
Sometimes he takes 4 out of 5 who won, and the last guy he goes like either
You just don't got it.
Pretty much.
Sorry, dude.
But then other times, like I said, like who we're talking about with William Knight, he'll walk back and he'll say, "Hey, you impressed me, but it wasn't enough this time. I want to see you improve, and I want to see you come back a few months later and see what you do next time."
It gives you a chance.
Yeah, and it gives you a second chance.
Train, go back with your team, coach, like clear up what we did wrong the last fight, and let's go from there and get another shot right on.
This is what I was excited to tell you about right here.
Here we go.
Michael Chandler, a Bellator champion, 2 weight classes.
Don't say I know him, but I've heard the name.
Okay.
It sounds familiar.
So I want to hear what you have to think about this because I think it's, I I think the way that they've done it is bullshit, but I think that Michael Chandler deserves to be in the UFC and get a decent fight right off the bat. But
well, now you
Michael
tell me why
Michael
it's
Chandler
bullshit.
officially signed with the UFC, and he will immediately serve as a backup fighter in UFC 254's main event and title fight between Khabib and Gaethje. So that sounds like a slap to the face to Tony Ferguson to me.
Now, why the fuck is he back up to any guy that backs out? And he just signed a contract. That's not right.
You seen what happened to Ben
That's
Askren?
fucking bullshit.
You seen Ben Askren in one?
No, that's fine. If I was Ferguson, I'd be... Are you fucking serious?
Apparently, though, they have offered the fight to Ferguson and Dustin Poirier, and neither of them were able to do it.
But the fight is...
Yeah.
Khabib.
Or sorry, not offered the fight. They offered the backup between Ferguson or Poirier, and neither of them were able to do it. So they asked Michael Chandler.
So how does this work? What if Habib's sick? He can't fight. Someone else defends his belt for him, or just done?
No. If Habib couldn't fight,
it's done.
Michael Chandler would fight against Justin Gaethje for the interim lightweight title.
But Khabib's the champion.
Yeah, but if he wasn't able to make it there, they would fight
he's still the champion.
They would fight for an interim title, and the winner, even though Gaethje is next up, the winner of that fight would fight Khabib once he was well and ready to go.
If I was Gaethje, I'd be saying, "Oh fuck, no." I'd be saying, "No, I have a contract against Khabib. Get your little freaking clown out of my
because
way."
they got Michael Chandler, Bellator champion, as the backup.
That's just so weird. No, he just signed UFC.
Yeah.
That's not right to me.
Yeah.
I don't know a lot about UFC, but that's not right to me.
There's a whole group.
That's bullshit.
There's a whole group of top 10.
That's not right.
There's a whole group of top 10 fighters that's slapping to the face.
Exactly. That have been in the UFC, worked, and oh no, that's just so disrespectful to me.
Okay.
To me, and I don't know the sport as much as you, but I just don't think that's right.
And on the topic of Bellator, 2 seconds. On the topic of Bellator, we have something we have not talked about in a while, but Paige Van Zandt turning down Bellator offer and has signed with the Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship.
Oh shit!
On a 4-fight deal.
I forgot about that.
4 fights.
4 fights. 4 long fights.
With her debut planned in November. The thing that's interesting to me is a lot of people, like obviously, like Paige has gotten a name on her Instagram where the one that I laughed at today was Paige OnlyFans Zant.
Really?
Yeah, Paige OnlyFans Zant. But
oh boy.
I laughed at that one, but
so you signed up, didn't you?
No, she doesn't have an OnlyFans.
I'm just kidding.
But no, I laughed at that one, and it was kind of just like people are basically, oh yeah, like, oh, you're too, like, it's casual fans. They're like, oh, you're too cute. You're gonna get your ass kicked. You're gonna do this. You're gonna do that. But the interesting part about that to me is the current strawweight champion is Beck Rawlins. In that, yeah, I think it's Beck Rawlins. Beck Rawlins, current strawweight champion, who Paige has actually fought inside the UFC.
Oh, the Octagon?
In 2016, and Paige has KO'd her before.
Shit.
So I don't think Paige is gonna do terrible. And if like Paige is past her savage lifestyle to the point where she's comfortable with the money she's making off of Instagram type of whatever,
Sports Illustrated,
sponsors, Sports Illustrated, yeah. If she's comfortable, maybe she's not as much of a savage as she used to be, but I'm not saying she's not. I'm just saying it's a possibility. Let's see how it goes,
I can
man.
see
like,
fucking Rousey ended up there. Bare knuckle.
Well, you thought Paige was gonna end up in WWE.
Well, there was a rumor
Yeah.
at one time they had some talk saying Paige Van Zandt, including Conor McGregor, were interested. None has been signed, and obviously Paige Van Zandt went with the bare knuckle.
Yeah.
Realm. I really don't blame her. Probably. Wow. Fuck.
Well,
see where it goes. You know what I mean? Like,
that's what I mean. She's done well. Her UFC career. It was okay.
Now her contract just ended, right? That's all that was.
That's all that was.
Yeah,
she didn't get cut.
No.
She
that's why
her contract ended,
and they just didn't re-sign.
Dana basically said
he wouldn't re-sign her, or he just
he said she can do what she wants.
Oh, so he just, if you want to come back, you're fine. If not, all right, no hard feelings.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not.
He wasn't impressed with Paige's last UFC loss. That's pretty much what you can say about that.
I doubt. I think Paige wasn't too impressed with her last loss either.
I don't think so. No,
I wouldn't.
It was very, very quick, but she's bare knuckle, and that's it. It's all stand up, and
I think she'll do all right in that. I'll go for her.
We'll see. Yeah. Next up, random topics. Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones Jr. supposed to already be done on September 12th.
And we're still waiting for it.
It got pushed back to November 28th. The wait continues.
What? Only
Sad.
Because promoters want to make more money off this. That's the only reason, isn't it? It is.
I think. I think
it is.
I think 100% it was because they wanted to, see maybe they could get fans back by then. They're not going to.
That's the thing. Money.
Exactly. That's all it is. But I think they wanted to see if they could get fans back. They obviously can't.
Nope.
But I felt like September 12th.
Man, this fight was signed in what? July, August?
You're talking
June?
about the hype of it. I felt like September 12th really picked me up to it. And when it got pushed back 2 months, I almost feel like not necessarily that I'm forgetting about it, but that
you lose interest.
I'm not losing interest.
In
Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones Jr. I'm not losing interest, but it's like I'm putting it on the back burner where I'm like, okay, this is coming up rather than this is all I'm thinking about.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get it.
So
we should be talking about the results right now, but of course, as Trash Talker Devin said, we're still waiting.
Yeah.
And I still pick Tyson in 4 rounds. I'm still holding to that.
And I've still got Roy.
Okay. All right. Your cousin's got your back too. He said he picks Roy as well. We had that conversation.
Thanks, Richard. Yeah. Same night. We got another UFC card that night. The only one I'm going to bring up right now is November 28th. Malcolm Gordon, London, Ontario. He signed and he's finally going back to his flyweight division to fight. He fought bantamweight. He got submitted in the first round, triangle choke. But he's going down 10 pounds, which is his proper weight class, and he's going to fight there November 28th, and I'm going to be tuning in, obviously, and hoping it goes.
No, you're not. We're watching Jones versus Tyson card.
Malcolm will be earlier in the night because he's a prelim.
Tyson versus Jones is more important.
Malcolm will be earlier in the night. I'll be watching Malcolm, and then we'll be watching Mike right after. Don't you worry.
We better be watching Lil Michael after.
And
Big
the last
Michael.
one, the last one I want to bring up. What the fucking fuck is Floyd Mayweather versus Logan Paul?
I was hoping you were gonna bring this up.
So the one thing I wanted to say, right away.
I'll let you take it.
I said this on our Instagram page.
I'll add.
When I brought it up. Floyd Mayweather versus Conor McGregor. That was a crossover from MMA to boxing.
That's respectable.
It's
respectable. It is.
Yeah, it was a crossover to from MMA to boxing, and it was something that excited the whole world enough to pay Conor McGregor $100 million. The next fight that happened was a 3 round exhibition between Floyd Mayweather and Tension, and Tension was
tried his best.
20-1 or 20-0, kickboxing champion with some of the greatest overall striking I've ever seen, but he was about 3 weight classes below Floyd Mayweather at the time.
He got knocked down.
So he ended up he got knocked down at least 3 times in the first round. That fight excited me if it was a kickboxing match, but they did not make it a kickboxing match. They made it a boxing match. So you knew what was going to happen, but they still went out there and you still tuned in. Floyd Mayweather versus Logan Paul, I will not fucking tune in for.
It's a fucking joke.
I will not tune in for that fight.
Why would anybody... are you done?
I'm not. I don't think I'll ever be done with this topic.
Me either. No. I can say a lot more. I just don't want to...
So, Tension and Connor I tuned in for because I was like, this is interesting.
Tension's
Logan
a legitimate fighter.
Logan Paul is a fucking pussy.
He's a YouTuber.
And he's a YouTuber, a fucking pussy.
Not a real boxer.
This is a complete social scheme for whatever reason they're doing it. Either this is some kind of prank they're playing on the public, or this is complete bullshit because I'm not watching this fucking fight.
And the thing is, Logan Paul's a fucking piece of shit, dog shit, douchebag. But my thing is like, Floyd, what the fuck you doing, bro? Why are you even giving this guy the time of day, man? You're a legend in boxing. You are a legitimate 50-0 fighter. Why the fuck are you even coming out of retirement to even waste your time on this ass clown?
That's what pisses me off. Imagine going on BoxRec as yourself, you're Floyd Mayweather, and seeing the name Logan Paul beside your name. Like, come on, man. Like,
I don't get Floyd's like mentality right now. Like, you don't need a payday, dude.
I think it's either a prank, or this is the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life.
Either or.
Yeah, it's one or the other, and I don't know which.
I hope Mayweather and Logan Paul are in cahoots in this, because if Mayweather signed this as a legit fight, that's a joke to me.
Yeah,
it's a fucking good. Why?
I heard they signed it.
It is legit. It's actually happening. Yeah. And this ass clown.
It is.
Logan Paul.
Is it not an exhibition again?
It's
yeah.
Floyd will only fight exhibitions.
But like. Tension was not
an exhibition.
Tension was barely a real exhibition because you were going, this kid's 125 pounds.
Yeah.
Logan Paul fight is a fucking joke.
It is.
Completely.
And that's why I hope they're kind of working together. Like, oh yeah, for your YouTube channel, I'll fight you.
Yeah.
Patty Mayo arrested Logan Paul at his mansion. Like, I don't understand, like, Floyd, like, don't waste your fucking time on this shit, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, was he the one that was on the Tyson Jones undercard, or was that his fag brother?
Logan Paul. It was
sorry for my language. It was idiot brother.
It was don't say that, but it was one of
block it out.
It was one of them, but they were basically, I don't know if they were the co-main event or they were like an undercard of the thing, but I don't understand.
He was fighting a basketball player, right?
Yeah.
For the Chicago Bulls or something.
What's his brother? Do you remember his name? Logan Paul.
Logan Paul.
No, Logan
Jake
Paul's.
And Logan.
No, so Logan Paul's the one fighting Floyd, and Jake Paul might have been the one
would have been Buddy fighting a basketball player.
He might have been on the under. Yeah, I think he might have been.
Okay, I thought it was the same guy. I was like, well, how are you supposed to do both?
Well, he's a busy man fighting.
Oh, I got Shannon Briggs in my corner. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Let's go, champ.
Let's go, champ. Oh yeah.
Let's go, champ.
I just don't agree with the whole.
Well, I hope Floyd has Vladimir in his corner.
I just don't agree with the whole thing. I don't even think it should happen.
All right,
Floyd, just stay away.
Let's move on.
Yeah.
Like, this is like, I hate even reporting this. Like, this fucking pisses me off.
Well, it's a fucking joke to the sport.
It is.
I hope fucking Floyd comes out and knocks him right out.
Well,
I would try for
what's that gonna do?
Fucking make me cheer.
He knocked out a YouTuber who
I would fucking cheer.
He knocked out Tension in the first round
because Tension wanted
three or four
Tension charged him and he said, "Oh, you want
three or four knockdowns against one, like in a boxing match against one of the greatest kickboxers out there in the world right now." Yeah, because
Tension forced the fucking action. Floyd's like, "Yo, I want an exhibition. You want it?"
Yeah, but Logan Paul, like what? You got enough satisfaction.
Logan Paul's not even going to even come near to hitting Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah.
If he connects
what's
with
the
one
point?
punch
Yeah.
on Floyd Mayweather, I'd be, oh shit.
So what's the point of this?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't agree with the whole thing.
No.
Not even have the fight, man. Like,
Okay. Anyways, I don't want to. I'm getting like.
it's frustrating.
I hate listening to this. This is an embarrassment to the sport. This is embarrassment to Floyd Mayweather. This is embarrassment to everyone except for Logan Paul, who's going to get some fucking celebrity status out of this. This is an embarrassment.
Logan Paul's teeth doesn't deserve to be rearranged.
No,
by
they do not.
Floyd Mayweather.
Absolutely
Let's
not.
just say that.
So, anyways, the last thing we got, you're getting back to whatever you got else in your notebook.
All right,
Go
my
ahead.
second installment. We go back to
death, right? Death in boxing.
No, that's next.
Next, okay. All right.
Next, this one, our last episode. What was it? July, June, blah blah blah. Anyways,
No. We do one episode per month. Our last episode was August.
Oh, that's right. In August, I talked about throwing fights.
August. We said it at the beginning. It was between August 5th and August 6th.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in August, we talked about potential throwing fights or throwing fights in boxing. We brought up the infamous, or no, sorry, not infamous, but the famous Phantom Punch.
That was
Ali versus Liston,
Yeah.
65, the second fight, right?
and I don't think that was a thrown fight.
And we came to that conclusion.
We came to an agreement, or we came to that conclusion that
we came to an agreement.
Okay. All
Okay,
right.
so now I bring to you guys my second installment. I got 10. I got to find out the rest. But Jack Johnson versus Jess Willard. You hardcore boxing fans, you probably know these guys. If you don't, I'll explain. Jack Johnson was the first black heavyweight champion in America. He defeated Tommy Burns, the first glove champion of Canada. He actually worked here in Sarnia at Riverport Tavern as a security guard. Just like him.
I was at Triple Play.
Huh?
I was at Triple Play.
Well, same difference.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a strip club when he worked there. It was just a bar.
Okay.
But anyways,
That's something I didn't know. Interesting. Nice to know.
yep. He he became champion, started boxing. This is Tommy Burns and a lot of white champions, because they were all white back then. Just given the times, they said, "Oh no, don't give a African American fighter a shot at the belt." So Tommy Burns did. He said, "Okay, I'll fight Jack Johnson. He's the best. He's next coming up. All right, I'll fight him on Boxing Day in Australia." Well, Tommy Burns lost that fight. So Jack Johnson, he obtained the title, and he broke a lot of rules at the time. He would date white women. He wouldn't care what anyone said. He was like Ali before Ali. You know what I mean? Like, he just didn't care.
Yeah.
And so, come down to it. Jack Johnson versus Jess Willard, April 5th, 1915 in Cuba. It's over 100 degrees. Sun is beating down on you. When they say this fight could have been rigged, I think it could have been. But
You were telling me earlier it was 26 rounds, though.
it went 26 rounds.
Yeah.
That's when Johnson went down. And a lot of people say, is it because he had enough? Or was it like he actually got knocked down and knocked out?
How bad was the knockout?
Well, it couldn't have been bad enough, because when Johnson was laying on his back, he shielded his face from the sun. So how unconscious could he be? He went like this with his arm. As he took the count, he went like this.
He might have just been sobbing in his, not embarrassment, but in his defeat.
Well, you got to think, no one saw the footage until 1967, because it was released. It was lost, and for some reason, someone
Who
found
taped
it. Somebody at the time, but someone found it in archives.
Okay.
And they watched in 1967. You see Johnson go down, the whole crowd stand up like, oh, is he actually done? Because Johnson hasn't been beaten since he beat Tommy Burns. And he went down, he just covered his eyes. And they say, is it fixed or is it a legit knockdown? And I say, if it's fixed, if it's 100 degree heat, in the sun. Why not go down the third or fourth round? Like I said, I was talking to my brother. He said, I think he started out wanting to win and then got thinking, is this even worth it? Like, I get in trouble for even, like, being around dating white people. Like, it's not worth it, man. Like, I don't need this hassle in my life. I think I'm done. I think maybe, my personal opinion, it doesn't go back to where he did this. That just happens. Like, what if you just
I was about to say, like, it's beaten down 100 degrees. You're defeated.
You're on the ground.
On the
you see
26th
sun.
round.
You don't want to freaking
and
cover your face. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I think it was not thrown.
Yeah,
that's my opinion. I think Jess Willard beat him, or he just kind of gave up on his own where he should have like told his corner.
Do you have this one in your notebook?
What is it?
Ray Robinson.
Oh, against Coyle?
Yeah.
The death
Jimmy Doyle.
Jimmy Doyle, yep.
Death Dream.
I don't have it in my book, but I'm
do you have Max Baer?
Max Baer, he killed 2 guys.
Yeah, you have that here? You want to talk about it?
I already know it, yeah.
Just talk about it, yeah.
We'll start with Sugar Ray Robinson and Jimmy Doyle. This is... Alright, if you guys picture movies, you trash talkers, this is the closest thing to a movie you'll get. Ray Robinson. Okay, there's 2 sides to this. Like, literally, Ray Robinson, champion, middleweight, regarded, Ali's favorite fight, regarded as one of the best of all time. Fights Jimmy Doyle. He's got
my favorite fighter of all time.
Sugar Ray Robinson. That's respectable. I like that. Cheers. Yeah. Ray Robinson wakes up, says, has a dream. I'm going to kill him. I'm going to kill him. And he goes to visits pastors, priests, anybody. He talks to everybody saying, man, I just feel bad. He talks to his trainers. Let's not do it. Like, I just feel bad about this. Doyle, he's trying to buy a house for his mom. That's what he's fighting for. Well, what happens in Sugar Ray Robinson's dream comes true. He hits Doyle in the 12th, 15th round, late in the fight.
Late in the fight, yeah.
Doyle goes down.
I think what's so most amazing about that is because I asked you after we were talking about this, and I said, did he end up buying him a house? And you said, yeah, I think that Robinson bought his mom the house anyways.
Robinson did.
Yeah.
Did put the funds and say, I'll buy you the house.
Yeah.
He did do that. So Robinson, he was obviously a great guy, great gentleman of the sport, you know. Really class act for everyone to know. But it was unfortunate because he saw it coming. No one believed him. He just went out and did his job, and he probably held that till the day he died. Another fellow we brought up was Max Baer. He killed Frankie Campbell well before he fought James J. Braddock. And he killed the other fellow there. I forget, his name slips. Do you have that?
I don't have that, no.
But he killed Frankie Campbell. It was actually, I think it was at the New York Stadium. Knocked him out. Well, that was another death. Another one more recently was, I brought it up earlier, Ray Boom Boom Mancini. You see it on video. It's clear as day. He kills this Korean in the ring, and before he goes out of that fight, they're like, man, you know Boom Boom, he's a tough guy. He's a tough guy. You're not gonna... He's like, I'll die for my family if I have to. He was trying to make a payday. Well, guess what happened? He died fighting for his family. And Ray Mancini, he never... All these fighters that ended up hurting, killing people, they all had remorse. Like Max Baer, when he killed... mistakenly killed. It wasn't murder, right? They were all let off, right? Like, of course it's not. Like, it wasn't intentional. It's a sport. It's a fighting sport. Shit happens, especially back in the 30s. Like, it's not as regulates.
Well, not
refs aren't stepping in as quick. You know what I mean?
That's like, one thing I don't agree with. It's not especially in the 30s because even, and that's what I was going to bring up next, was even in 2019, I don't have exact names, but we had 2 or 3 deaths in boxing last year.
Now, how does that happen?
And it was actually 2 of them was the ref didn't know. It was a normal fight. They were just taking too many blows to the head, and they ended up dying days later. One of them was the ref's fault 100%, and I remember that the guy was taking so much unnecessary punishment.
I have another one, a couple more deaths to bring up.
And that's the thing. People get angry, especially like during UFC fights, this and that, where you get the bar fucking hoppers, and they're sitting there and they go, "What are they doing? Stopping the fight, like this and that." You don't understand
because someone's fucking hurt.
That either the referees know their job, or the referees who are stopping the fights early,
or a doctor stopping the fight saying he can't continue.
They understand the cues of a fighter's awareness, and until you're in that position, you cannot judge what their calls are. Like the referees have the hardest job inside of any fighting organization. They are in charge of their lives.
You are. Yeah. You are like literally the guy that goes, too much, or should I? Because you hear the fans, they love it, and then you're like, should I do it? If you stop it too early, you're going to be hated on. But hey, you saved someone's fucking life or career.
And that's what we're saying. Dr. Faisal
stepped in.
Brian Ortega versus Max Holloway. That was one of the greatest stoppages that you could have ever made. And we were in the audience going, "Come on!"
And then you saw, oh shit, I know that guy.
We want to see a 5th round, please.
Good stoppage, Dr. Faisal.
Yeah.
But another death in the ring I have to mention actually comes from the wrestling world. You know Rey Mysterio?
Oh, of course.
Yeah, he was in he wasn't employed in the WWE. This is before he came back, but he's wrestling in Mexico. It's a luchador show. Him and his partner, they did it was supposed to be a double 619 where both guys went down on the ropes. You know the move where they swing around. Yeah. Well, he kicked one guy in the back. Drop kick. Well, then he went to do the 619, which he did. His partner, like the guy, Buddy's tag team partner, he fell back, took the hit. Buddy, he didn't move. He just laid against the ropes. And the ref's like, what the fuck's going on here? Wrestlers start looking. The guy fucking died. He just dead there, man. Yeah. Oh, I saw that on YouTube. I was like, oh shit, the guy's actually fucking dead. One death that sticks in the ring for me is maybe you've heard of him. It was back actually when I was boxing, like 2009. Marco Antonio Nazareth.
I know, yeah.
He fought Julio Cesar Chavez's junior brother.
His brother.
His younger brother, and.
Okay, obviously like senior, junior. I know. I don't know the younger brother.
Omar Chavez.
Omar Chavez
is Julio Cesar Chavez's junior little brother.
Okay.
Well, he fought him, and Chavez Senior was in the corner. It was his coach, his dad, right?
Of course, yeah.
And this guy, he was like, I think he was like 13. No, Omar was 13-0. This guy, he's had a couple losses, and like, he started doing weird faces, like, oh, bring it on. And Omar just, pummeling him. The next thing you know, it's like, fight ends, and next thing you know, the camera goes over, and like, all you see is like, Marco Antonio Nazareth, like, rubbing his head. And they're laying him on the ground, and he just keeps, like, massaging his head.
Once he got dropped?
No, like, the ref stopped the fight. He was taking too much punches.
But then they laid him down?
Yeah, like his corner laid him down and said, oh, you're not doing too well. And then you can see Marco like doing this to his head.
Yeah.
And like, I think within 12 hours later, he died from like bleeding of the brain. He just took too many punches. And then what hurt me most, like I looked him up on YouTube, and it was like his girlfriend at the time. She like posted videos of them like laying together, having like sentimental. She
wasn't pregnant or anything.
No, okay, but she just missed him and everything. Yeah. I'm like, oh, this sucks, dude.
Oh, it does suck, but it's like it's.
Where was the ref? Like, I know it was in. Like,
well, and that's the thing, you can't judge the ref.
Stop the fuck.
No,
you can't. You can't.
He was taking too much punishment, but you cannot judge the ref's decision on Unless it's like
they say about Mexican or Spanish fighters, they like to go out on the shield. They'll never quit. They'll rather die than you throw the towel in on them.
They know that until they die.
Yeah, and maybe that's the way he went out. You know what I mean? Like,
until he was laying on the ground feeling his head, he
knew I made him a fucking mistake.
He made a mistake because he's.
I should have quit.
And a lot of those head injuries, they happen way before the fact. So that head injury to him that was saying, "Oh, you're going to die."
He took 2. If you watch it, he just
no. But
Omar was just,
that head injury, would have been prolonged over a few.
Oh, probably.
Fights. That was not just like Omar killing him.
Well, that was the second time he fought Omar too.
Yeah,
that was the second time.
So that was not just Omar killing him that fight. That was over a career.
Probably
beatings.
over a career, but like, I'm not blaming Omar for like no boxer goes in the ring to intentionally hurt somebody. It's just like second time he fought him. My thing should have been his management or coaches saying, "You sure you wanna? Let's not book this fight. I don't, you know what I mean? He's a little too tough for you."
It might have been like the first fight. How did it go?
Omar won.
How bad?
I think it was unanimous.
Okay, well,
and they said, "Okay, let's schedule it again."
Well, like,
come on,
like,
man.
Like you think you've improved? No, I agree. You think you improved, but then they go.
But
out.
let's take some more. Let's
if
he's
on
taking lesser level, you know what I mean?
At this point, they blame the referees too much because at this point, if he was taking as much damage as you say,
he was.
It is the corner's responsibility.
Throw in the towel.
The corner, not the referee. It's somewhat the referee's responsibility, but he's there. If he's saying the cues, hey, you're getting your fucking ass kicked. Can you fight? Can you show me something? Yes, I can. That's the referee's job.
Nope. Yeah, you're right.
If you're in the fucking corner and you're watching this guy and the referee lets him go and you can see in his eyes that he's doing something wrong even after agreeing with the referee that he can move on,
throw in the towel.
It's your fucking job to throw in the towel.
Throw in the towel then. Yeah. You gotta protect your fighter, dude.
Yeah.
You're protecting a life out there.
Yeah.
A lot of people will look at the referee or the doctor and like I look at the corner and say, that's your guy. You know him the best. You know when he's about to break or not. You gotta even though he fucking
especially your father, like his dad was in the corner.
Well, Omar won.
Yeah.
So Chavez Senior wasn't going to throw in the towel.
Yeah, no, I know. His dad was in his corner, and who was in?
Someone like other guys, not his relation. Marco.
So you had a guy as experienced as Chavez in the corner.
Man, his older brother is Chavez Jr. His dad is
my whole point of that is Chavez
fighting family.
Chavez Senior was one of the ones I was talking about Fight World with Frank Grillo.
Yeah,
he was in the first episode of Mexico.
Chavez
boxing.
Senior was in Omar Chavez's corner.
Yeah, and that's
training him.
So Frank Grillo, he had that out. They had talked to Chavez, and Chavez talked about the brutality of his career. And this and that.
Chavez went through a lot of. He's like 93 and.
But that's the thing. You go through that fucking much punishment. Chavez Senior standing in that corner. I know it's
with
not
his headband on.
Obviously,
Mexican headband.
Obviously, like Chavez, it's not his responsibility on the other side of the corner either. But Chavez is so experienced that he had to understand how much of a beating his son was giving to that other corner. And how much that damage was going to inflict. It's none of their fault because it is obviously first of all on the responsibility of the ref, and second of all, on the responsibility of the corner. Yeah. And
watch over your
after
fighter.
That, it's on the responsibility. After that, and you see in the UFC all the time where people are going and looking up at the referee and going, are you going to fucking stop this or what?
Yeah, exactly.
You see it all the fucking time. So, first of all, referee. Second of all, corner. Third of all, fighter. I would say fourth, Chavez Senior with the experience that he has. Are you going to fucking stop this fight because my son is about to kill him?
Yeah. Yeah, seriously. Like, he would be like, I've been in this shit, like,
Yeah.
all my fucking life, dude.
Yeah.
Since I was 15 years old, and you're going to.
And the referees sometimes get mouthy, where you don't tell me how to do my job, but you have to be told how to do your job,
fucking job
when
then.
you are not
do
doing your fucking job,
or I wouldn't have to be lipping off from the corner, man.
Yeah,
like, seriously,
exactly. Yeah,
seriously.
exactly.
But I agree with you. Like, even Chavez Senior would be like, dude, my son's literally going to fucking kill this guy.
Yeah, he's
and it's going to sit
and he
on
and he
his
did and he did. So, but it's like, and
he felt bad.
That's my only opinion.
He went and visited him.
Because Chavez Senior himself, like, even watching the documentary and knowing Chavez Senior's life, he has been through so much, and he knows the ups and downs of boxing completely.
Well, he's been boxing since a teen, right? Like, all his life, practically, from Mexico to world champion to everywhere, all around the world. What is he, like?
And he talks about
93 and
holding
0 or
on
something?
too long and stuff, and like losing, and
he's
all
got
of his
like
fights.
94, 95 wins. It's
and
crazy.
And his career, where he basically, same thing as De La Hoya, where he talks about, hey, like,
he fought De La Hoya.
He talks about, hey, I was up at this point, and the points where, like, my career downfalled, and like he still criticized himself even at the age he's at now, going, like, I did this during this time where I was fucking, like, not taking it seriously. And you see that all the time. Like, you see that all the time completely. Like, a fighter doesn't take it seriously, and things just don't go their way.
Fuck, a lot of fighters fuck up their careers. So, he didn't, you know?
His son.
Yeah, Chavez Jr.
Yeah.
Mr.
Anyways, okay, let's get back on track, though, because I know we got off. That was big. Deaths in boxing. Yeah, no, that was a huge one, so I'm glad that you brought your knowledge for that. But anything, because I was gone, do you have anything left in fixed/thrown fights, or you got through that?
Ooh, fixed/thrown fights.
Did you get, because we got a couple more.
I talked about the Jack Johnson, Jess Willard, how we thought, but I think
pretty much, yeah.
But I'll save the next one, number 3. I'll have to go home and do.
Okay, number 4.
That's for next.
Number 4, yeah.
Yeah, that's for next.
Okay, the last 3, and I'm gonna throw them all together: WWE SummerSlam review, WWE Payback review, and Wrestling Community. Did you go through those or no?
Well, that's when you're at the can.
So you did go through those too?
Yeah.
Okay.
But community, we got. What I can say for the WWE community is, all you wrestling trash talking fans, if you're listening, there's a couple rumors I want to get out of the way. Ronda Rousey could be back. She could be back. And if she comes after my girl Bayley's belt and wins it, I'm going to be fucking pissed, because Bayley is 900 days plus as WWE SmackDown champion. And for this bitch to come back, sorry for my language, I'm sorry. Ronda Rousey, don't break my arm, please. But if she comes back and wins, I'm going to be mad, because, like, you know? Another thing is, hopefully there's fans back soon, and keep your heads up there. But what we got?
All right. Well, that's it. We're just over 2 hours again.
And fuck you, Charlie. See, I always gotta say that.
Well, that was we had the video at the front.
Oh,
so, yeah.
Spoiler alert.
But, all right. Well, thank you again for tuning in. Episode 3.
When's our next one?
We'll be coming back UFC 254, so right before Habib and Gaethje. We'll be back, and stay trashy.
All right. See you, folks.